Aber noch wichtig ist, ich müsste einmal zurückblicken auf Red Bull Ring. Wir hatten es da sehr schwer gehabt als Team gemeinsam und wir haben gezeigt, dass wir weiter arbeiten und wir hatten heute einfach das Sweet Spot wieder gefunden. Es ist natürlich sehr eng alles zusammen vorne, aber das ist Carrera Cup Racing und Pole Position starten ist immer gut.
Ja, und ist eine Pole Position in Monza was Besonderes?
It's only the second time in history that the Porsche Carrera Cup Porsche Carrera Cup Germany has visited Monza. The last time was in 1991 when the race was won by Andy Bauvenspian, and we have not been back to this circuit in 30 years in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Hello everybody, welcome to the Temple of Speed. It's the 349th race in the history of the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Tomorrow we will be celebrating the 350th race, quite a landmark in itself. We're here in Italy for round 7 of the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, and that is the man who currently leads the championship for Porsche Carrera Cup. It's Laurin Heinrich, and last weekend at the Red Bull Ring he went into the weekend second in the championship, and he came out of the weekend at the top of the points, overtaking Larry Tenforder. So Larry Tenforder now 3 points behind, second in the points championship. That's Maurice Schuring. He is the youngest ever driver to take part in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, and he has had an excellent qualifying session today. He is starting from 4th on the grid, so a really good drive, best of the season so far for Maurice Schuring. Leon Köhler there, another driver who was very, very quick at the Red Bull Ring, won the first race and got a third in the second race, and he will be looking to continue that form. Currently 4th in the championship, and he will be looking to close in on that championship lead. So it's a glorious sunny day here at the International Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. To give it the correct title, we just call it the Monza circuit. 30.2 degrees centigrade to be precise. So the weather is very warm indeed, and the temperature has been playing havoc a little bit throughout the weekend. It's a very, very fast circuit, this, the fastest circuit on the calendar as we look at Christopher Zirkling, and the drivers have really got a challenge ahead of them. It's half an hour of racing, and in that they need to look after their tyres due to the high-speed nature of this circuit. There's a lot of stress on those tyres, especially the left rear, and with limited camber allowed on the setup of the cars, they will be looking at tyre wear very, very closely. Also looking at the curbs, being very careful, because there's a very sharp edge on the rear side of the curbs, and the drivers need to be careful not to clip those curbs and cut a tyre in doing so. Track limits, as always, are the issue of the day, and there are 3 main areas that we're focusing on with track limits: turns 1 and 2, 4 and 5, and turn 11, the parabolica. As you can hear, the engines are running. We've got a visiting driver here, Sebastian Framer, who was also visiting last weekend as a guest driver at the Red Bull Ring. He's continuing to join the cars here this weekend. You can see the starting grid there. It's Larry Tenforder who's put it on pole position, with Ayhan Şengüven alongside Laurin Heinrich and Maurice Schuring. Great qualifying from Maurice Schuring, the young driver there. Leon Köhler and Loic Hartog start on the third row ahead of Christopher Zirkling, Rudy van Buren, Max van Splunteren and Bastian Bus rounding out the top 10. Then it's Antonio Teixeira, Dan van Koyk, Lucas Grunewald, Jukka Honkavori, Jesse van Koyk and Julian Hanses as the cars get started on the important formation lap around this circuit. It is a circuit that is 5.793 kilometres around. That equates to about 3.6 miles. It has 11 turns, 7 to the right and 4 to the left. It is so good to be here at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, a wonderful historic circuit. In fact, it's the world's third purpose-built motor racing circuit after Brooklands in the UK and Indianapolis in the United States. A circuit that was originally built in 1922. And of course, there is that mighty oval that was originally built here, and there are remnants of it around this circuit, and it's wonderful to climb up onto these steep bankings here at Monza. And at one point, just before the Variante Ascari chicane, you can stand and you can look down from the old circuit at the new circuit that runs underneath it. And this place, which is steeped in history, wonderful to be here at Monza for the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany for the first time in 30 years. So we're on the formation lap at the moment, and as you can see, the drivers are working hard to get heat into the tyres and into the brakes. There's a few high-speed corners here: Curva Grande, Curva di Lesmo, and the mighty Curva Parabolica, which is the last corner on the circuit. And the drivers have to negotiate all of those. A very different kind of circuit to the Red Bull Ring, which is where we were last weekend. Very different circuit to Zandvoort, which is where we are in about 3 or 4 weeks' time. 9th 2020 championship here. So that man there, Larry Tenforder, knows his way around this circuit. Another driver to keep an eye on is Bastian Bus. He's starting down in 10th place on the grid, but he has proven to be a real entertainer in this series, and he celebrates his 18th birthday tomorrow, one of the real young chargers in this series. We look at Ayhan Şengüven, who lines up second on the grid, and as the cars come to get their positions, we look at Rudy van Buren, the number 57 car, and we're just waiting for the final cars to form up on the grid, and then it will be the big run down to Variante del Rettifilo, which is the first chicane and equates to turns 1 and 2. So, temperature is hot, the atmosphere is electric. Settle back, because this is going to be half an hour of pure excitement. That man there on the right-hand side of your screen wants to get his championship lead back. His main challenger is starting behind him on the grid. That's Lauren Heinrich, who is currently leading the points championship. We are waiting for those lights to go off. They are off already, and we are racing, and Larry Tenforder immediately stepping off. Bashar Mardini, the number 89 car, was running in 18th place. So another car that's fallen by the wayside. Looks as though that might have been a mechanical issue as opposed to any kind of contact, but we will no doubt find out a little bit more about that as this race progresses. So Larry Tenforder leading the way, 6/10 of a second is the gap over Lauren Heinrich in second, and Heinrich just ducking to the inside slidey into the corner, trying to break the toe from Ayhan Şengüven, and the slipstream very, very powerful around this circuit as they come around the Parabolica out of turn 11 to complete another lap along the pit straight we come, and Ayhan Şengüven moving out of the slipstream to have a look at Lauren Heinrich, not really close enough to do anything about it. This is the fastest part of the circuit as they head towards Rettifilo, and Lauren Heinrich weaving. The safety car is out, so we've just got notification safety car is out, so that is why we've got the weaving, got to keep the heat in the tyres. So safety car is out, and that'll be to retrieve one of the stranded cars. So we see the Bastian Bus car going straight on once again, and there's Bashar Mardini coming to a stop, and that is in the Variante del Rettifilo. And yeah, he has got damage. You can see the front wheel, the steering is broken, and the front wheel pointing in the opposite direction and scrubbing across the track. So Bashar Mardini with all that damage, and his afternoon is over. Looking again at the replay, you can see Larry Tenforda cuts across Ayhan Şengüven to block him. This is the fastest part of the circuit as we head in towards that first corner, and you saw Loic Hartog also getting a wheel onto the grass. And the rest of the cars coming through, and it's such a tight squeeze through there. And bumping over the curb, some going straight on, some spinning. And that was Antonio Teixeira in the number 19 car that had also gone spinning at that point. So it really was a proper traffic jam in that turns 1 and 2. Safety car is in on this lap, incidentally, so we will very shortly be going back to full racing conditions. As we look again, and it was Jesse van Kuijk who'd also got steering damage as part of that scrum at the start of the race. So Jesse van Kuijk, that's what happened to him. So two very similar incidents, and steering broken, the wheel just locked in, full left hand down, and Jesse van Kuijk's afternoon comes to a very premature finish. So Bashar Mardini and Van Kuijk, both of them out of this race, which is such a shame. Jukka Honkavori is another one who is in trouble in that opening lap. So we've got notification. We did have notification that the safety car was coming in, but that has now been cancelled out on the timing stream. So as we look at Fabio Citignola, so the number 46 car, that's another one that's fallen by the wayside. So Fabio Citignola into the pits. And we now are back to green flag conditions. So safety car did come in, despite the conflicting graphics. And it's Larry Tenforda who leads the way. Now look at Leon Köhler on the outside of Ayhan Şengüven and wrestling that position away into third place. And behind them, Loic Hartog, who's looking very quick indeed. Loic Hartog, the PCC Benelux champion from last year in the yellow and black car, lining up to make a move as well. He's currently in 5th place, so this is quite a scramble for position. Ayhan Şengüven just weaving around slightly, looking to the left and to the right of Leon Köhler. This time the cars get through those early corners, and things have settled down a little bit, but Larry Tenforda leading the way, and that's Christopher Zirkling in the number 27 car with Maurice Schuring, and Zirkling in 8th, Schuring in 9th. Behind them is Dan van Kuijk and Rudolf Rien, with Bastian Busch down in 12th. So continuing through the heat haze here at the Monza circuit, we go underneath the old circuit and into Variante Ascari, the chicane that's taken, well, they approach the chicane at about 260 kilometers an hour in 6th gear, then it's heavy braking through the chicane, and then it's back up to 260k as they head in towards turn 11, which is Curva Parabolica. And this is Parabolica, that sweeping corner, and come out of that corner in 3rd gear, and there's a challenge for position. Bastian Busch and Rudolf Rien, the two blue cars coming together. It's Bastian Busch who's moving forwards. He has been such an entertainer in this series this year already. The number 99 car looking to improve on a couple of 5th places that he got at Red Bull Ring last time out. But currently down in 11th. He's got a lot of work to do from there as Rudolf Rien comes back towards him as they head into the chicane. The rest of the cars coming through. So our leading rookie driver is the yellow and black car of Loic Hartog, number 4, currently in 5th place. And our leading Pro-Am driver is Carlos Rivas. He's in the number 6 car, currently in 13th place. And if Carlos Rivas wins this race in his category today, so if he finishes at the top of the category, he will be the most successful Pro-Am driver in history. He currently has 34 wins in the Pro-Am category, equal to Rolf van Eycken, who is the record holder. As we look again at that move from Leon Köhler for 3rd place, and Leon Köhler wrestling, I mean, properly squeezing his way through, and great driving through a very narrow part of the track, through the chicane, and says to Ayhan Şengüven, make a space because I am coming in. And you can see Loic Hartog in the background as well. So we were saying about Carlos Rivas, if he wins in his category today, he will have 35 wins in the Pro-Am category. The current record holder is Rolf Nijkamp, who has 34, and that's Leon Köhler going very deep into the corner. He gathers it up, continues on his way. Good heavens, we're already a third of the way through this race. It's Larry ten Voorde who leads by over a second from Lauren Heinrich and Leon Köhler and Ayhan Can Guven. Ayhan Can Guven back up to third. There's the old banked oval. You just see that there as we sweep back round to the Parabolica, and a bit of history. There's so much history around this circuit. So Leon Köhler is back up with Ayhan Can Guven. This is a man that's going to rage on. There's Georgi Donchev and Felix Neuhofer in the 33 car. Felix Neuhofer, who is sitting in for Sebastian Glazer, who's not here this weekend. Neuhofer, a 24-year-old who last year raced for Huber Racing in the Porsche Carrera Cup. So there's a spinner as we come out of the turn 2, and that is the very same. Oh dear, did I put a curse on him? Felix Neuhofer getting it all wrong out of turn 2, and that is the Variante de Rettifilio, and he goes spinning, rejoins but loses places in doing so. So Felix Neuhofer, who was in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany last year for Huber Racing, and currently racing in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux this year. He's currently in 6th place in that championship and sitting in for Sebastian Glazer here in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany series. A lot of cars going wide out of the corner, and I have to remind you, track limits once again. Those words that come up every race and seem to be haunting us at every circuit nowadays. Track limits are being watched by the stewards, and any issues with track limits, and they are going to be awarded a penalty. And that's Dan van Kuijk, who has found a route past Maurice Schuring. So Dan van Kuijk is up into 9th place now. Maurice Schuring coming back at him, but behind them is Bastian Buus. And Bastian Buus is a never say die person. Maurice Schuring on the inside, one of the talent pool drivers, as is Bastian Buus. And Buus, we have seen already, does not back off for anybody. Dan van Kuijk going wide into the corner, and Bastian Buus on the inside picking up a slipstream from Maurice Schuring in front of him as well. Maurice Schuring moves across. Now can Bastian Buus hold on to that position? And under braking into the corner. And we can see there's a lot of scrambling still. Loic Hartog has also got Max van Splunstrom for company, but our focus very much on that battle there. Maurice Schuring, Bastian Buus and Dan van Kuijk. And Dan van Kuijk now at the back of that queue. Bastian Buus lining up Maurice Schuring. Great to see these drivers. The cars are absolutely equal. And Bastian Buus picking up the slipstream into the corner under braking. You can see Loic Hartog just hanging the back end out slightly as it comes around the corner and bumping over the curbs, giving these cars some serious stick, testing them to the absolute max. Maurice Schuring now has Bastian Buus filling his mirrors. Maurice Schuring in 9th place, Bastian Buus in 10th. And Dan van Kuijk, who is now down into 11th place. But here comes Dan van Kuijk on Bastian Buus on the outside into the corner and out towards the Variante Ascari. There's going to be braking, but Bastian Buus is going to have the racing line into this corner. Under braking they come. Bastian Buus picks up a little bit of curb, moves it around through the chicane and then back hard on the accelerator as they head towards Curva Parabolica, which is turn 11 on this circuit. So great close driving, and Bastian Buus, who was so impressive at Oschersleben when he collected a tyre in one of the races, completely rearranged the front end of the car, and all that did was make him go faster. There's a car that's spun, that's Antonio Teixeira. Doesn't look like he's made contact with anybody or anything, so he rejoins without too much damage or problems, but he has dropped down. He was in 18th place before. Whatever happened there. Here comes Larry ten Voorde, 9/10 of a second over Lauren Heinrich. So ten Voorde is not disappearing into the distance. Tyre preservation is critical here at this circuit, and especially in these conditions, as another car takes to the rumble strips, and that is Sebastian Framer, and there's Larry ten Voorde. Look at them hustling the cars over these curves up onto two wheels. Brilliant stuff, great to watch. the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car, and it's all new for this year, and is about getting on for 2 seconds a lap quicker than last year's car. A real step forwards, a little bit wider, a lot more aggressive, and a lot more horsepower as well. 510 horsepower for each of these 4-litre naturally aspirated, water-cooled flat 6 boxer engines. And of course, a rear-mounted engine in the Porsche. As we see Loic Hartog in 5th place, Max van Splunteren behind, then Rudy van Buren. The gap between first and second is still at around 9/10 of a second. Car 35 was under investigation, but there's no action there. So Rudolf Rien was being looked at by the stewards, and that would have been for one of those moves early on, but there's no action there as cars continue to go wide out of the corner. And again, a challenge for position, and several challenges for position. 6 cars running for 3 positions into the corner. They all tuck back in as they head around the historic Parabolica. And you can see some of the old circuit in the background. Great stuff. Georgi Donchev is in that fight at the moment. Our leading Pro-Am driver is Carlos Rivas. He's in 13th. To remind you, if he stays in that position and Georgi Donchev stays behind him, he will be the most successful Pro-Am driver in the history of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. So a significant race for him as we look at more challenges for position into turns 1 and turns 2. And Sebastian Framer, his mirrors full of Lucas Groneveld and Kim Hauschild. And Georgi Donchev in there as well. He wants to get on up after Carlos Rivas, the defending champion in the Pro-Am category. And Carlos Rivas, who just makes a habit of winning and winning and winning in his category. That's quite a queue of cars there. This is our leader, though, Larry Tenforder. He's opened up the gap to about 1.3 seconds over Lauren Heinrich. So here comes Larry Tenforder. Lauren Heinrich about 1.3 seconds behind. Look at this. Look how much stick that Porsche 911 can take as it bumps over the curbs, up onto 2 wheels. Pretty forgiving over the curbs, but the driver's just giving it the absolute max. And Larry Tenforder trying to open up that gap and also look after the tyres, and also avoid cutting a tyre on the inside of one of those very sharp curves. I'm very pleased to say we've had no issues with track limits as of yet. Nothing's flashed up on our timing screens, and the stewards have really been clamping down on track limits throughout this year as Georgi Donchev comes under pressure from Sebastian Framer, and that is for 15th place. Framer is in the rookie category. And in fact, it's Kim Hauschild who is now up with Georgi Donchev. So Kim Hauschild, both in the Pro-Am category. Here comes Kim Hauschild lining up Georgi Donchev into turn 1, the fastest part of the circuit, under heavy braking, down in towards the corner. And Kim Hauschild looking very quick, but goes across the curbing, and that is going to give the position back. There's a spinner at the back of the pack. There's a car that's got turned around, and didn't see who that was, but the race continues on. There doesn't look like there's any damage. Now, who is that? Hard to see from there. But if that car is stranded, we might end up with another safety car. So we're hoping that that car can get rolling and we can keep things going. That's Erik van Slooten in the number 96 car. Jan Erik Slooten. And let's look again. It's Kim Hauschild on Georgi Donchev. So Hauschild into the corner, under braking. And Jan Erik Slooten is in the background there as well. And you can see Hauschild just gets it across the curbs, and Georgi Donchev is able to get the place back. Sandra Kaibach is the number 10 car that's also in that battle. And then at the very back, there's the car that goes spinning and out of harm's way. Question is, can it keep moving? Looks as though it's not going to cause us a problem and bring out a safety car. Here comes our leader, Larry Tenforder. He's opened up another tenth or so. 1.496 seconds is the gap over Lauren Heinrich. Ayhan Changuven in a solid 3rd place. Leon Köhler in 4th, and then a gap back to Loic Hartog, who is our leading rookie in 5th place. Max van Splunteren and Rudy van Buren have got their own fight going on, and that is for 6th and 7th as the rest of the cars comes through. And this is Christopher Zirkling and Dan van Kuijk. Zirkling in 10th place, van Kuijk in 11th. So Zirkling under a lot of pressure. Van Kuijk moves to the inside. We cut away and have another look, and that is why Zirkling was back there, because he'd gone wide, done a little bit of rallycross, sliding the car back onto the track along with a ton of gravel, I have no doubt at all, and keeps it pointing in the right direction. No such problems for Larry Tenforder though. 1.4 seconds, and Lauren Heinrich starting to come under pressure from Ayhan Guven. So last time around, the gap was 7/10 of a second. So 7/10 of a second is what Ayhan Guven needs to find to catch up with Lauren Heinrich. Of course, catching him is one thing, getting past is another. And Lauren Heinrich, the current championship leader, is going to see that lead eaten away by the man in front of him if this race finishes as it is now. This is going to be a fight that goes all season long. Lauren Heinrich, a driver who has really come of age this year in this series. He's picked up a win at Oschersleben, and he picked up another win last time out at the Red Bull Ring. Leads the championship, needs solid points in every race, and a non-finish at this stage would be catastrophic. And again, Sebastian Freimert and Lucas Groenewald are fighting. This is for 15th place. Sebastian Freimert, the rookie, Lucas Groenewald in the number 15 car. And Groenewald lining up as they head along the pit straight, picking up the slipstream. Now, is he going to duck to the outside? It's going to be in towards the chicane. Here he comes. And the fastest part of the circuit, 270 kilometers an hour. Under heavy braking, into the chicane they come. Freimert just holding on. And Lucas Groenewald having to settle still for that 16th place. He's not done yet. This is such a fast circuit. The slipstream is very, very key here. But Freimert goes deep into the corner. Groenewald can't do anything about that. Freimert taking the fastest part of the circuit under braking again in towards the chicane. Again they come. And Freimert still holding on, but surely Groenewald is going to get past here as they head into the corner, looking to the outside. And now he goes deep into the corner, almost getting out into the gravel. Groenewald absolutely putting the pressure on, and Sebastian Freimert locks up, but it's Groenewald who goes straight on. So Sebastian Freimert locks up into the corner, and Lucas Groenewald, all that hard work for nothing. He goes straight on behind. Whether he was distracted by the car in front out braking, or whether there was just too much speed into the corner, but Lucas Groenewald drops down the order, and he's got all that hard work to do. Again, you can see Freimert comes into the corner, he locks up, and as does Lucas Groenewald, who's also onto the grass, has nowhere to go, and no grip out there onto the gravel, and Lucas Groenewald drops down, and Sebastian Freimert continues in 15th place and without the pressure of that car behind him. So we look again at a replay. Is that Jan-Erik Sloten? Yes, it is Jan-Erik Sloten going wide out of the corner. And the 53 car, his teammate, also in the... the 53 car, Ayhan Guven, in the Phoenix Racing car, also going wide as well. So cars using a lot of the track and a little bit more, and you can see the grip really is at a premium. So Ayhan Guven currently in 3rd place. You can see Lauren Heinrich ahead of him. Larry Tenforder, 1.3 seconds is that gap at the front. And then there's a gap from 3rd, Ayhan Guven, to Leon Köhler, and then Loic Hartog with Max van Splunteren, Rudy van Buren, Maurice Schuring, Bastian Boos, and Christopher Zirkling rounding out the top 10. So there's Max van Splunteren, Bastian Boos, a driver who just never backs off for anything or anyone. One of the real up-and-coming stars in this series, and it'll be his 18th birthday tomorrow. He would love to celebrate it with some serious points. He's currently down in 9th place behind Maurice Schuring. Two drivers who are part of the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany talent pool. They're coached and mentored by former Porsche works driver Wolf Hensler, and they are very much the future of Porsche Carrera Cup and GT racing. These drivers absolutely red hot, and showing some of the older drivers a way around the circuit. So you can see coming into turn 1 and 2 through the chicane, that's Bastian Boos and Maurice Schuring, and then another battle behind, which is Christopher Zirkling and Dan van Koyk. We're into the final 5 minutes of this race, and Maurice Schuring continues in 8th place. Bastian Boos, who he is competing with not just in the main championship but also in the rookie championship, is very much one of his main contenders this year in this series. Larry Tenforder continues to lead the way as we focus on 8th place. And the two rookies going head to head. Both drivers absolutely fearless. The youngest ever driver in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany is Maurice Schuring, and the very impressive young driver Bastian Boos, 17 years old, behind him, and then a relative veteran, Christopher Zirkling, in the number 27 car. You saw Carlos Rivas passing through just now. He was in 14th place. There he is in the number 6 car, the blue car. Just to remind you, he is leading the Pro-Am category, and if he continues in this position until the end of the race, he will be the most successful Pro-Am driver in the history of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. And that record that has been held by Rolf van Eiken will finally be beaten by Carlos Rivas. So the number 6 car making all the right moves to break that record. We're into a little under 3 minutes of this race remaining. Larry Tenforder, his lead has gone down to just a little over a second. So Lauren Heinrich has taken 3/10 out, but Larry Tenforder looking pretty solid. Lauren Heinrich in 2nd place. His car is nicknamed Flying Nicky, named after the dog of one of his sponsors. And the name, I'm told, is on the front centre of the roof, just above the windshield. But can't really see it from here. But Lauren Heinrich in Flying Nicky, currently flying in 2nd place, but he will see his championship lead eaten up by Larry Tenforder if things finish as they are. Larry Tenforder, who's not used to not being at the top of the championship, so will be very happy to retake his position up there. Heinrich looking more and more under pressure from Ayhanchen Guven. With less than 2 minutes remaining, Guven is going to have his work cut out if he wants to take that place away. Leon Köhler in 4th place, the ever-improving season on season. Leon Köhler just gets better and better. He won last time out at Red Bull Ring, and he also got a 3rd place. Doesn't look like he's going to finish on the podium in this race unless something dramatic happens in this last minute and a half plus 1 lap of this race, as we look at Dan van Koyk in the number 16 car, and he is in 11th place. So Dan van Koyk ahead of Rudolf Ruyn and Julian Hanses. And Julian Hanses in 13th, and there is Carlos Rivas about to make history in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. What an epic drive from him. He just keeps delivering and delivering and delivering. Of course, just to remind you, there are several championships that are running. There is the main driver championship. There is the rookie championship, which is currently led by Bastian Boos. There is the Pro-Am Championship, which is led by that man there, Carlos Rivas. We also have a team championship, which is being led by Team GP Elite. And all those championships running within this one race. The main drivers championship is soon to be headed by that man to the right-hand side of your picture, Larry Tenforder. finished off the podium for the first time since 2019 at Red Bull Ring last weekend, which shows just how competitive you need to be to stay at the top of the points. Sixth place is not good enough to win championships. You need to be finishing in the top three pretty well all the time. It is so competitive in this series. And Larry Tenforder very much loves this circuit here at Monza, and he is leading the way. Lauren Heinrich has closed in, but not enough to do anything about it. So the clock strikes 0. There will be one extra lap, and then this race will be concluded. It's Larry Tenforder who continues on his way, with Lauren Heinrich in second, Ayhan Şengüven in third place, and Leon Köhler in fourth. Loic Hartog in fifth, Max van Splunteren in sixth, Rudy van Buren in seventh, Morris Schuring in eighth, and Bastian Buss in ninth. So here he comes, crosses the line for his last lap. Larry Tenforder, he's done all the hard work. He put the car on pole position, was looking very strong during qualifying this morning, making no mistakes at all. He's looked after the tyres, he's looked after the brakes. After what was, by his standards, an exceptionally poor time at the Red Bull Ring last weekend, getting a sixth place and a mere second place in race one, Larry Tenforder is now looking to dominate the championship once again, as Julian Hanses gets it all wrong whilst trying to get past Rudolf Rien. So Hanses, who was in 13th place, he surrendered at least one place as a result of that spin, and he rejoins, it looks like, without too much damage, because Carlos Rivas has sneaked through into 13th and of course is the front runner in the Pro-Am category. So Julian Hanses down one spot. But I'll focus now very much on that man there. He's got just over a second over Lauren Heinrich. He is in the closing stages of this final lap. Lauren Heinrich in second, still with his mirrors full of Ayhan Şengüven. And of course, with Guven there, he's not been able to challenge Tenforder in the way that he would have liked to. Through the Variante Ascari and up towards Curva Parabolica. 260 kilometers an hour. Pulling about 8,000 revs in sixth gear, then under heavy braking into the Parabolica. And around the historic turn they come. This is the first of two races this weekend at Monza circuit. And it's Larry Tenforder who comes at a turn 11 to win in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. It's Larry Tenforder ahead of Lauren Heinrich, Ayhan Şengüven, Leon Köhler. We're still waiting for him. Here he comes, fourth place. And then it'll be Loic Hartog in fifth, Max van Splunteren in sixth, ahead of Rudy van Buren, Morris Schuring, who's recovered to eighth, Bastian Buss in ninth, Christopher Zirkling in 10th, 11th Dan Van Kooyk, 12th Rudolf Rien, and this man here, Carlos Rivas, again winning in category, in the Pro-Am category, becomes the most successful Pro-Am driver in the history of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. 35 wins. The record that has been held by Rolf Nijken for so long has finally been beaten, and Carlos Rivas is the most successful driver in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, the Pro-Am category. The winner in the rookie category is Loic Hartog, who finishes fifth on the road. Morris Schuring is second in the rookie category, and he finishes eighth. And looking again at that spin for Julian Hanses, just under braking, gets out on the curbs, and Rudolf Rien is able to retake that position. And looking at it again from a different angle, and carrying just too much speed in, gets out onto the painted surface, and the car just swaps ends, and he drops that position, but he keeps it. He turns it around and rejoins the race, so not too much damage done, although he has lost that position to Carlos Rivas, who finishes 13th on the road. And Rudolf Rien clearly manages to avoid getting involved in that spinning car as well. Now here's a replay of the winner, Larry Tenforder, ahead of Lauren Heinrich and Ayhan Şengüven. So great to see these cars back at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, the Temple of Speed. And that man there who secured the 2020 Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup title here last year. And he knows his way around here. And with the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany returning here for the first time in 30 years, he is the man who takes the top step of the podium. The cars now being fielded into Parc Fermé. And that is the first three that are going to come round, and very shortly will be taking their positions on the podium. So a good solid drive from Larry Tenforder, Lauren Heinrich and Ayhan Canguven taking those top three positions. And Larry Tenforder will be delighted with that. Back into his winning ways. And unbelievably, that is Larry Tenforder's first win since the opening round of the season. He won both races at Spa-Francorchamps back at the end of April and beginning of May. And he has not stood on the top step of the podium since then. He's had a second, a third, a second and a sixth. So finally, Larry Tenforder returns to the top step. Lauren Heinrich loses that lead at the top of the championship. And you just know that Lauren Heinrich is going to be the man who pressures Larry Tenforder for the whole of this season. So Larry Tenforder, the popular driver from the Netherlands, often accompanied by a fairly vocal fan club. Sadly, restrictions mean that we don't have the spectators in great numbers that we would come to expect, but we're hoping that very soon the Larry Tenforder fan club will be able to come and cheer him on in person once again. So handshakes from Ayhan Canguven as well, and Larry Tenforder back to winning ways. That's exactly what he needed. A driver who has been so dominant in this series over the last few years. He is the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup champion from last year, also the defending champion in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. But that was a battle that went to the wire. And also raced at Le Mans and won the Le Mans race for Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. So there you go, the official result. Larry Tenforder ahead of Lauren Heinrich, Ayhan Canguven, Leon Köhler, Loic Hartog, the leading rookie, Max van Splunteren, Rudy van Buren, Maurice Schuring, Bastian Buss and Christopher Zirkling rounding out the top 10. Then Dan van Koyk, Rudolf Rien, Carlos Rivas making history ahead of Julian Hansis, Sebastian Freimert visiting us, Sandra Kaibach, Georgi Donchev, Kim Hauschild, Ahmad Al-Shabab, Jan-Erik Sluten, Christoph Langer in 21st ahead of Lucas Grunewald, Felix Neuhofer, Holger Harmsen, Antonio Teixeira, Fabio Chitignola, Bashar Mardini and Yuka Honkavori, non-finishers, as was Jesse van Koyk, and Antonio Teixeira was also a non-finisher. So to the podium we go. Third place, Ayhan Canguven picking up his trophy. In second place, the driver who came into this race leading the championship, Lauren Heinrich.
The winner is Larry Tenforder.
And the winner is Larry Tenforder for GP Elite. The number 25 car takes the top step of the podium. And a representative from GP Elite as well.
Now it's time for the anthem for the winner.
And now it's the national anthem. Great stuff. National anthem for the Netherlands. And Larry Tenforder holds his trophy high. Great trophy. Great to be back at Monza. And now the celebrations will start. Cheers, everybody. So, a good race here at Monza as the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany returns. And we get to do it all again tomorrow. Race 2 of the weekend. Round 4 for the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. And the second race will be tomorrow afternoon. We're looking there at a slow-mo of Ayhan Şengüven, who finished in 3rd place. There's the 2nd place, Lauren Heinrich, the number 92 for Van Berger Huber Racing. And of course, he is driving Flying Nicky, and you can see the name on the roof in slow motion. And there is your winner, the number 25, Larry Tenforder for Team GP Elite. And a thoroughly dominant drive by Larry Tenforder as he looks to retake the championship lead and extend that championship. So we're going to come back and do it all again tomorrow. Will Larry Tenforder make it 2 out of 2? Or will Lauren Heinrich come back and retake that championship lead? Join us tomorrow afternoon for race 2 here from Monza. Bye-bye.